Well, thanks for staying with us. The second half of discussions this morning is one that centers on the state of the nation, moving from certificate scandals to the ongoing feud between Dangote and PENGASSAN, and where unionism starts and stops is against allegations of economic sabotage, with also the CBN's position on setting a daily limit of 1.2 million for POS operators in the country amid the current economic realities. How do all this shape the quality of lives of Nigerians is the big question. Our guest would look to answer this as we dialogue on the state of our beloved nation, Nigeria. He's an economist and a political development analyst, Dr. Chinatu C. Ohaekelem. Good morning to you, Doctor, and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning. Pleased to meet you.
It's always a pleasure, Doctor, to have you in the studios. And no better time than when we have some issues that border on academics, the economy, politics, and how it shapes Nigerian lives. First off, is a situation emanating from Enugu State, where the person involved on the one hand is accusing the Enugu State government of having a hand in his travails, although the institution which he claimed to have obtained the certificate from has said they never issued such. He has done what many called for earlier in resigning amid controversy. But back to the big question of how that certificate in question went through the presidency, scaled through the National Assembly, and the DSS without being flagged up until the Premium Times concluded a 2-year investigative report. What comes to mind when we discuss this recurring incident of certificate forgery as alleged, making the rounds this morning?
Thank you very much. Well, to me, I see it as a failure in our recruitment system in Nigeria. Because as you rightly said, the so-called minister, he passed through the screening of the DSS. The DSS gave clearance, and the National Assembly also gave clearance. So at this point, nobody needs to blame the president, because the president cannot be everywhere, and some of his appointees, he doesn't know them personally. Are you getting me? So he depended on the feedback from the institution. Well, as we heard this morning that the so-called minister have resigned, but Nnaji, that he has resigned. But I would suggest we do a holistic review. The president should take this as an opportunity to review the credentials of his appointee from the ministry levels to the agencies. It will go a long way, because it will be another scandal if Premium Times or Sahara reporters are able to go and start searching, or the opposition, and discover that one or two people are also having what they call
are still in his cabinet.
Who are still in his cabinet, even heading agencies. Are you getting me? Or who are having certificates that are not in the right position. Are you getting me? You should just use this opportunity to review that. That is on one hand. On the second hand, the DSS should take responsibility. I expect by now DSS should have issued a report, are you getting me, of what really happened. Are you getting me? Or even apologizing to Nigeria and the president for failing Nigeria at this time. And whosoever, I was meant to understand that there is a report and somebody will sign. Are you getting me? That this man has been cleared. We have gone through the institution, and we found that he's not wanting any means. So whoever that is the DSS director that signed this report should be sacked immediately. The minister have been advised to resign or so whatsoever, but the director of DSS, are you getting me? The director, I don't mean the head of DSS, the director that this thing passed through his table, that the DSS as an institution relied on his report to clear that man, should leave the job immediately.
But that's a tendency. Most Nigerians in office rarely resign.
No, we are not saying. I'm not saying he should resign. I'm saying that he has failed in his assignment. So DSS should relieve that man or that woman if he's still in service of his appointment. And those officers that went to the University of Nigeria and Nsukka and came back with a clean bill of health should be relieved of their appointment. You know why? It will go a long way in shaping the institution. And a long way that in the near future, if you are sent to do a very good job on behalf of the state. You are not going to sabotage the state. This is a sabotage against the state. So we cannot just exonerate DSS. If I were a member of the inner cabinet of the president, by now it's not only Nnaji that would have gone. Are you getting me? The guys that are corporate would have gone, and DSS will issue statement in respect to that. That is what I'm saying. And the second one I've said earlier on is that the president should use this opportunity, because when people criticize your government or you have a lacuna, you are not God. You understand? You should use this opportunity to review the credentials of all his appointees. I mean, from the minister to the agency, grade 1 agency.
Now, Doctor, this call for a review of the credentials of his appointees is one that is subject to provisions of the Constitution as well. The Constitution does not clearly mandate one to have a degree, certificate to aspire for any elective office or appointed in that regard. People say it's pegged at SSC certificate. So why do people go out of their way to allegedly forge this certificate?
Well, the truth is this, you know, it's scramble for power. And when you say you have an SS degree certificate, you are tend to that you are not qualified. Are you getting me? That kind of thing? Because other people that are more qualified are vying for the same position. So they go out of their way to see how they can outsmart one or the other. But another one, the political party also failed. Because the so-called Nnaji is a member of, APC. Don't they have a means of verifying the certificate of their, their members? Another thing is that if you watch in INEC form, you will discover that most people shy away from putting their higher degrees. They will just put SSCE. That is the highest qualification. Then when you go on the background, you find out that they have masters. So if I'm heading the DSS and I see your INEC form, and I know that somehow you are a graduate, but you fill in SSCE, it brought a room for me to question. Why are you not proud? Yes, to say, why are you not proud of your degree certificate? Then it will prompt us to probe further. Are you getting me? But some of them, in order to beat this INEC, the way you say it, to beat the INEC, INEC under of the Constitution, they will present SSCE. A case is happening in Anambra now. The person presented the SSCE, but he's claiming to be a PhD holder. Are you getting me? So it's supposed to spread curiosity both from the DSS, the National Assembly, that why are you not proud of your certificate? Maybe probably you enrolled or you didn't graduate, as the case of Nnaji. Are you getting me? And more further, it's all about our recruitment system. The presidency should not overlook it. Both INEC, are you getting me? Both the National Assembly should not also be exonerated, because it was also clear in the National Assembly what modalities have National Assembly put in place, or they will put in place, that this kind of occurrence will not occur again.
Now, going forward, people also question the provisions of the law as to what guidelines or punishments are put to serve as deterrents to others, citing that most of the persons regarded as the high and mighty, despite being allegedly culpable for criminal offenses like certificate forgery, do not serve the punishment for such offenses. I don't know if you agree to this assertion, or do you think that the laws need to be strengthened or enforced even harder so that we have deterrents to serve for the younger generations not to toe the line?
Well, it's a two-way thing. Number one, the law needs to be enforced. I agree on that totally. But right now, you will discover that if you're a member of the political party, the ruling party, are you getting me? And the way the man has been asked to resign, they might not go a long way in prosecuting him. But the truth be told is that in criminal matter, forgery is a criminal offense. Are you getting me? There is no lifespan. So if in 10 years or in 4 years' time, another government comes in and they decide to prosecute him, why not? They will prosecute him. You understand? But the police, on their own, can also press charges if they want. University of Nigeria and Nsukka, are you getting me? Can also press charges that you presented a false certificate that wouldn't issue you. Then even NYSC, because we also learned that he presented a fake NYSC certificate. NYSC can press charges. So all these three institutions, any of them can press criminal charges against the corporate, or the alleged corporate, as it may be.
As it may be. Oh, it's one of those thought-evoking moments in our national history and our global image about how this shapes it. But one angle of the story that is not getting as much prominence is the angle the media played in bringing this issue to the fore. Because before your calls for the institutions to have prosecuted him. The Premium Times looked at the issues on ground and said, no, there might be some smoke here and probably fire at the end of it. What do you make of Premium Times' role in the uncovering of this alleged certificate scandal?
I commend them. I commend them, and I pray that other media houses, are you getting me, should take suit. You know, in investigating such high-profile individual is not easy. You must try and do it discreetly before you blow it out. And Premium Times have done well. So, and other media houses should should take suit and investigate other appointees of the president. So I commend them. Other media houses should take suit.
Well, moving away from that, our next discourse is one that takes us to the activities of the National Assembly following the resumption of plenary yesterday. Amongst the deliberations on the floor of the Red Chambers was an approval of a 10-year passport ban by the Senate on Nigerians that are convicted of crimes abroad. We're talking about having our own crimes at home punished as well, but the Senate has a position on Nigerians in the diaspora, and the passport is more like the access nationally and also to the international community of them being banned passport issuing for a 10-year period. What do you make of this position of the Senate?
It is a welcome development. Are you getting me? But somehow I want to look at it that if somebody is convicted on a crime and he served the punishment, and another one is serving another punishment of 10 years, but is it not double punishment? Are you getting me? But I can see the spirit behind it is to deter people from crime, and especially international Nigeria image abroad. Are you getting me? The law should be fine-tuned. 10 years might be, you can't make it a blanket thing. Like, let me say somebody that committed a murder case and somebody that stole a car. Are you getting me? They are now 10 years ban. They should just tinkle on it. 5 years ban is okay, but it's a welcome development. Because if you know that at the end of the day, if you are in a foreign land and you are charged for criminal offense, you are denied Nigerian passport, you will not be able to travel out again. Are you getting me? You have a rethink. You have a rethink. So it's a good one from the Senate.
Now the bill is sponsored by Senator Abubakar Bello from Niger North, and he says that the bill also seeks to amend the Passports Miscellaneous Provision Act as part of legislative efforts intended to restore the country's global image, as reported by many media outlets. The other debate is one question I asked earlier as to if there would not be sacred cows in this.
How would they be sacred cow? If somebody is convicted abroad and is made known to the public, if it's not made known to the public, it's quite different. The person might escape. Are you getting me? So we have the fifth tier, which will say the press. If they blow it open, it depends on the Minister of Interior instructing the immigration service to withdraw the passport, and it will be done. So I don't see any sacred cow on it. You understand that kind of thing? The law have not come into place. Nigerians have this habit of start shouting wolf, 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 where they have not seen anything. Are you getting me? It's just a bill. It has not been passed. Let it be passed. Then we now go to the implementation stage. But by now, maybe probably might take 1 year or 2 years before it become an act. Then we start implementing it and see how it works. If it does not work the way we feel, are you getting me? It can also be re-amended. So we don't need to start crying wolf why it has not been
Passed into law.
It has not even been. Passing into law is one thing, and being tested, are you getting me? Compliance with the law is another thing. So let it be passed into law. Then immigration we have immigration offices all over the world. We have our embassies and foreign mission. Are you getting me? And if a Nigerian commit crime, they have a way of having the record. Are you getting me? They just write to them and they withdraw the passport. So I believe it will be done. We should not bother ourselves by all those wolf crying.
There's a lot of rebranding going on around the Nigerian passport. A lot of commendable work from the Ministry of Interior as well to streamline the application time. But when it comes to strengthening the passport on the global stage, do you believe that this is a step in the right direction? Because as it stands now, for many Nigerians who travel quite frequently, they tell you the amount of scrutiny they face, double searches for just carrying the green Nigerian passport. What do you make of this?
Well, the second one is out of the purview of the Minister of Interior. Are you getting me? The whole brand thing about Nigeria is holistic. But I will start by commending the minister. Is one of the good ministers. I can say there are not up to 5 performing ministers in this cabinet that are shining. Unfortunately enough, he's one of them, and he has done some good, are you getting me, innovations. So, but on the total branding of Nigeria, our criminal justice system need to be overhauled. Are you getting me? Both from the courts, are you getting me, on security, all those things are things, are you getting me, that will help in branding, giving our passports value. It's not only the Minister of Interior, it's not only on the passport, the physical passport itself, because it's green. Then when we change it to white, that means our passport will have value. No, 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 no. Are you getting me? There are other intangible things in the system that we need to fix, especially, just imagine Nigeria, for instance. You have a business with someone and he defraud you. How long will it take you to get justice in Nigerian present court? Are you getting me? How long? And if justice can be done easily, you get justice easily. You find that it's part of the branding that we are talking about. Are you getting me? Look at this certificate forgery that we just discussed earlier on. It's part of the branding. Even the government having sincerity to serve the masses. Are you getting me? It's part of the branding. You cannot tell people, for instance, the federal government is telling people to use CNG. Eh? Are you getting me? To use CNG gas because of the economic situation. But I will tell you, none of the federal government vehicle is using CNG. I told someone, I said, if the president is sincere in a sincere country, are you getting me, that you are saying you want people to start using CNG gas, I expect the president would have led by example. By putting in his own vehicle that he's using on his entourage CNG gas. So that one will encourage people to go into it. But if the president says, oh, the CNG gas for his own security, he loves himself so much that the thing might blow, so he loves his life, then he's not leading by example. So why should you allow other people to face that risk? Are you getting me? So the truth is that our president should come out openly to show that he sympathizes with the people. He has empathy with the masses. On why this is 2 years going 2 years plus. And the purchasing power, are you getting me, has been going down and down. Yes, they've had 1 or 2 good scores. That they've told us recently that the inflation rate has reduced for the first time in August of 20 point something. Okay, good. Are you getting me? We scored them good on. They've been able to stabilize the economy to a greater extent. But the president, there is a disconnect between the body language of the presidency and what the masses are feeling. So I will pray that the president and his handler should be able to, there should be a meeting point to feel what the masses are feeling. Are you getting me? Nobody hates the president personally. I don't think there's any Nigerian that will see President Bola say, I hate you. Are they dragging anything? No, they are not dragging anything. But it's the president to ensure that his policies affect and uplift the people. I expect President Buhari by now to have acted. You see, our government,
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Buhari is nothing to write home about. President Buhari, I always tell people
of blessed memory.
Of blessed memory. There's nothing to write home about his government. But you see, Obasanjo was able to move middle class. We had middle class, and it was growing during Obasanjo regime. Are you getting me? Now is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I speak, he's learned. Are you getting me? And he has run the economy of Lagos State. I believe by now he should have strategically positioned himself or his policy to grow the middle class. And if he does that, people will applaud him because we don't have anything really against him. So in the entirety, are you getting me? If you feel some of these things, it will help in the branding of Nigeria positively.
Now let's talk about some of the things that affect the lives of Nigeria in terms of the saying that the strength of a nation is in the educated minds that it has. The federal government is looking to avert another ASUU strike. ASUU had issued a 14-day ultimatum listing the need to renegotiate the 2009 federal government ASUU agreement amidst other demands, with the negotiation committee reconstituted. You talked about policies that show that the government is in touch with the lives of the masses. What would you make of this renegotiation committee and the demands from ASUU? How pertinent is it that the federal government attends to these demands?
You see, when you call ASUU, the ASUU people, I am disappointed in ASUU.
Why so?
I'm very, very disappointed in ASUU. Now, let me give you an instance. ASUU have been going on strike since the 80s. And Atedo Jiga happens to be one of past ASUU presidents. When God gave him the opportunity to be the head of INEC, he did something that most Nigerians did not notice. And I was discovered with a professor recently, and I told him, and do you know what he did? Atedo Jiga ensured, Atedo Jiga ensured that ASUU preside over our elections. Not ASUU as a body. Are you getting me? But most ASUU members for the past 10 years. Are you getting me? And the main reason why he did that is that if ASUU as a body, are you getting me, are in charge of this election as returning officer, they will help in a long way that people will not be able to rig the election out. But what do we have? In 1999, they failed. Are you getting me? Even most recently in 2023, you can see the kind of election, and the whole Nigeria started crying. So, and these are people that they are learned, they are intellectual. People believe that money cannot be able to influence you or induce you, you understand, to a certain extent. But also failed. Because if they are able to midwife a good electoral system, especially on the election day, and good people comes on board, also will not be thinking after every two weeks to go on strike. Because people that will man the election now will be people the masses wanted or people the masses voted. They are like umpire. Are you getting me? Now, for instance, let me take an example. What happened in Abia State? The woman was in Futo, Izan also, and she was put as returning officer to the governorship election in Abia State. And she stood her ground. Despite the pressure, the woman stood her ground. Imagine that woman succumbed. Maybe the dividend of democracy Abia are having for the first time after a very long while. Are you getting me? They wouldn't have been celebrating today. Unless Otu would have lost the election. But you see, she understood and she said something that she will not be able, if she collects the money, she will not be able to face her children. That what kind of state or what kind of country did she want to go to her children? At the end of it, she stood her ground and announced the result they gave her, the right result. And today, every 70% of what you call indigenous of Abia State are celebrating. Imagine such a thing was done nationwide. Maybe probably ASUU wouldn't have been thinking of a strike. You understand what I'm trying to say? ASUU wouldn't have been thinking of going on strike. So
you believe there's a stronger correlation between the activities of ASUU and how it rubs up on governance and the electoral process?
Especially on the electoral process, they gave you opportunity. One of your members gave you opportunity. Come and be a presiding officer, returning officer in election from local government to House of Assembly, to Senate, to House of Rep. What is the result? Then when these people that people didn't vote for, in quote, are you getting me, comes into government and they start owing you, they didn't meet up with the agreement they had with you, they start denying they didn't have any agreement, you now start threatening everybody, you want to go on strike for the innocent student to suffer. Are you getting me? So on the one hand, I'm blaming ASUU, and I pray by 2027, if they are able to come across this video, this interview I'm having with you, they should put their house in order. They should talk to their member. Are you getting me? They should talk to the member that by 2027, they should stand and do what is right.
Now, apart from ASUU, still talking about the tertiary education institutions, SANU and NASU are also contemplating a nationwide protest tomorrow, Thursday, October 9, away from the academic staff union, when the non-staff union is also clamoring for an improvement in their wages and allowances. What does it speak to the priorities of governments when it comes to education?
Well, you see, the priority of our government when it comes to education is not really top notch. If I can use that language, it's not really top notch. The truth is that it's not really also the organized union that are crying. All Nigerians are crying. Are you getting me? Because of the cost of living. I've spoken earlier on that. So I would advise the government to go into negotiation with them and to plead with them to, so that at the end of it, they go on strike, the students are going to suffer. Because at the long run, they will still pay them their salary. And there will be disruption in our educational system that we are not even doing well. You understand? And we don't know how long the strike is going to last. So the Minister of Education, he has been doing well. He has been bringing one or two policies here and there. You can see that he's a bright guy. You should move in and let them avert the strike. Both ASUU and the ASUU and the union, non-academic staff, there is no need of strike now because Nigeria, we are not in a very good situation. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Chinatu believes that the federal government's negotiation committee looking to renegotiate the 2009 agreement between the federal government of Nigeria and ASUU should be prompt in doing that. While he says he's displeased with ASUU's position since the early 80s when it used strike as one of its negotiation tools to strong-arm the government to meet his demands. Now, we'll talk about unionism from a different perspective after this break. And it's unionism as it concerns PENGASSAN and one of Africa's largest single-train refineries, Dangote Refinery. This morning, calls from Emir Sanusi and Bishop Koka are that disruptions in such an industry may discourage investors while warning against economic sabotage. After the break, we'll look at this and also the NNPC's response to the Senate's 19-point query on the 210 trillion naira audit gap, amongst other issues. Stay with us.
From the bowels of history.
A little while ago, I took a solemn oath before you and Almighty God to abide by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to discharge my duty faithfully to all our people without fear or favor. Like the electoral mandate the people of Lagos gave me on January 9, 1999, I regard the oath as sacred covenant. I swear before you and God once again that I shall respect the sanctity of this pact. I swear and affirm that I shall live and abide by it during my time in office.
From the bowels of history.
Well, thanks for staying with us as we continue our discussion here on the program this morning. Just to remind you that the Dangote-PENGASSAN feud had been quelled and the federal government looked to have reached an agreement to ensure that there are no disruptions in the supply chain. While Mr. Festus Osifo, who is the president of PENGASSAN and also the chairman of TUC, is insistent that the alleged sacking of 800 Nigerian workers by Dangote is unfair and that those workers have a right to unionize. Now, in spite of whatever is the cause of the feud, there are much calls from eminent Nigerians and the likes of Emir Sanusi and Bishop Kuka who are urging that no disruptions should be permitted in such a sensitive industry, particularly with the interest of the private investor Dangote, to ensure that the right investments are attracted into Nigeria's midstream petroleum sector. Well, still in our studio this morning is Dr. Chinatu. Well, Doctor, coming back to this issue, it initially started as Dangote versus Nupeng and later metamorphosed into Dangote versus PENGASSAN. But overarchingly, it's counter-accusations of monopoly on one side on the part of Dangote, whilst others are also accusing PENGASSAN of economic sabotage and using to use unionization as a tool to strong-arm a private investor who should not be mandated under any circumstances to be compelled for his workers to unionize. How do we strike a balance in this argument and counter-argument?
Well, the truth is that it's neither here or there. It depends on your perspective or the way you want to view it. In as much as there is freedom of association in our art, if people want to get into a trade union, they are permitted by our law. So your employer cannot force you not to join any union on the one hand. So you can say PENGASSAN or no peg, they might be right. But on the other hand, you can't force a man on how to run his business. For so long, PENGASSAN and NOPENG, they've been here. They tried in the pro-democracy before after the June 12th. But after that, what happened till now? The 4 refineries we have in Nigeria are not working.
Thank you for taking us down history lane, because mentioning June 12, I just remember that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was also formerly a PEGASSAN member, now that you mentioned it.
Yes, let me not lose my flow of thought. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that what have they done to ensure that they go on strike, that our 4 refineries must work? The Kaduna refinery, the Port Harcourt 2 refinery in Port Harcourt, and Warri refinery. Are they not members of the association? They are collecting salary without doing anything. Are you getting me? We have over 12 depots, petrol depot, scattered all over Nigeria. From Suleja to Kanu to Bauchi to what do you call it? So many. None of them is working till now. Are they no member of PEGASSAN and NOPEG? So it will call for, are these people really sincere? These are government owned, that if they decide to go on strike now and force government, that if these refineries and this depot do not work, are you getting me, will grant Nigeria. And Nigerians will applaud them. Because at the end of the day, the cost of living will be reduced. They didn't do it till now. To me, I just believe they are just deceiving themselves. They are serving their own self-interest. Dangote owns nobody. You understand? He went ahead to borrow money to build a refinery. And he's a businessman, he's a capitalist.
Mr. Festus of
Sifo he wants to maximize profit. Are you getting me? Now, if he employs you and you believe the first aim, the refinery are not even up to 1 year, and you believe the first aim is for you to go and join a union. If he tell you to leave, to go and join union outside, did he do anything wrong? He didn't do anything wrong. Are you getting me? I was in the bank, and those days when we were in the bank, of course, nobody forced you not to join union. But you know that this is a private business. And none of us were interested in joining union because the union did not employ us till I left at middle management level. Are you getting me? So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you believe the union will feed you, go to PEGASSAN and NOPEG. Let them give you employment letter and be paying your salary. Are you getting me? But if you believe that Dangote has also helped you to enrich your personal economy, my friend, just face your job and forget NOPEG and PEGASSAN. Let NOPEG and PEGASSAN, if they come out tomorrow and say they are going on strike, that there will no tanker will move, they want to grant Nigeria till our 4 refinery work, the 12 to 10 depots in Nigeria start working. Are you getting me? Till NNPCL is held accountable.
That will be a more genuine cause.
I will be in the forefront with them. A lot of Nigerians will come out and see that these people are sincere. Are you getting me? Tell them I said that I, Dr. Chinatu, say that they should go to hell. They are not sincere. Let them
Doctor, let's manage our language as well.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry. Doctor, for the genuinity of the purpose of PEGASSAN's action, it's also shrouded in controversies as to the interest in terms of checkout dues. Now, PEGASSAN is supposed to get checkout dues from Dangote, which is supposed to be deducted from the over 800 workers there, and it's on record that it's supposed to be between a 1% to 5% of their salaries, or even the payment to the truck drivers. People say it's because of those checkout dues that PEGASSAN is very interested in ensuring that it has workers in Dangote's refinery. What do you make of this argument?
That is their internal mechanism. Are you getting me? Number one, if Dangote are members or the workers are members of NOPENG or PEGASSAN, then you can be talking of the pay dues. But if they are not member, where would you get the pay dues? Are you getting me? Are they trying to reap where they do not sow? When Dangote was building the refinery, did they contribute 1 naira? Are they stakeholder in the refinery? You understand? They allowed the man to take the full risk. Now the refinery started operating. Now, even when Dangote had issue late last year with the presidency on him having crude,
Naira for crude deal.
Naira for crude deal. For a long time, they didn't give him crude. They didn't feed him with any crude. Did you hear PEGASSAN and NOPENG coming out and say, this is Nigerian company, we must not allow it to die? Are you getting me? They didn't. They believe the man should take the whole risk, and he took the whole risk. He has negotiated with the presidency. They've suspended that they've had some understanding, and the thing is up and running. Not even up to a year. You are coming out with all this threat. So on this one, me, I'm not. I'm not. It's not that I'm in support of Dangote. There are some certain things I have some reservation on the way he runs his business. You know, the monopolistic tendency and all those things. But it's the federal government that also gave him that. That privilege. Are you getting me? But if he's one Nigerian that have also brought his money home here, and he has invested here, and workers are working here, are you getting me? We must commend him. We must not kill our own.
So you're leaning your thoughts towards the position of...
some people in government today or in past government stole from this country, and they stack billions of dollars. When I say billions, I mean billions of dollars in other people in economy. And those people in the economy are using that money to run their system. Are you getting me? Creating employment, reducing inflation. Are you getting me? Producing, their GDP is growing, but why that of Nigeria is dying? Why didn't PENGASSAN and NNPCL go on strike for those people that stole Nigerian money? Are you getting me?
Now,
so
Doctor,
this is
like
a personal businessman that is doing his business. I don't love him, or what do you call it? I don't have any personal dealing with him. But we must not kill our own. Are you getting me? They can look for a way to come into amicable agreement since they've done that. But let them leave Dangote to run his business.
Now, talking about prioritizing investments on the Nigerian soil, Emir Sanusi and Bishop Koka are saying that what PENGASSAN is doing to Dangote might discourage other potential investors. And listening to you seem to be towing down that line. Dangote himself has made a call to other wealthy Nigerians asking that they invest in Nigeria. These calls don't seem to be gaining as much traction. And people accuse him of being a monopolist because he has decided to involve his money in different sectors. Do you think it's because of such unionism or the tendency of some sabotage of people to frustrate certain private interests in Nigeria? Hence, we're seeing the wealthier class take their monies to other clients. No.
You see, anybody trying to accuse Dangote in respect of monopoly in what do you call it, in crude oil, I believe the person is not being sincere. He is not up to 1 year in the business. So where is the monopoly? There is another refinery coming up in Akwa Ibom State. Are you getting me? Bua. He's building a refinery in Akwa Ibom State. And by next year, the refinery will kick off. Where is the monopoly? Sterling, what do you call it, refinery is coming up in Akwa Ibom State. A land that is as big as Dangote refinery. So where is the monopoly coming on board? Are you getting me? There are modular refineries here and there in the country. So they shouldn't accuse him. Those ones, once they come on street, they will compete. And presently, the federal government is also, of course, they told us 6 months ago that the Warri refinery is working. But it seems it's no longer working. The new GMD of NNPCL now said they are going to either privatize it or concession it. So when those refineries come on board, where is the monopoly? Are you getting me? So the truth is that Dangote making a call for other investors to invest in Nigeria is a welcome development. I too am making a call for all Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, both in diaspora and locally, to invest in our community, to invest in this country. Because when you invest in this community, in this country, our GDP will grow. There will be employment. Are you getting me? The private sector needs to come in and play a greater role in building the economy. And the government must create that enabling environment. And if it has created that in the oil sector in respect to Dangote and Co., now investing, we should applaud them. So the union should not look for a way to kill those, what do you call it, investment. Please, they should just hands off. Thank you.
Well, quite a pertinent call from Dr. Chinatu. This brings us to our next topic of discourse this morning, which is the NNPCL. Now, following the resumption of plenary at the National Assembly yesterday, the Chairman Senate Committee on Public Accounts, Senator ASUU Wadada, told the Red Chambers that the NNPCL has responded to a 19-point query as issued by the Senate's committee over an alleged 210 trillion naira audit gap. Now, listening to Senator ASUU Wadada speak yesterday, he says he cannot make some of the details of the responses public, but he can put it to the Senate that all 19 questions were answered. Now, this money is spanning a period of 2017 up to 2023. And Engineer Bayo Julari, who before now, many were asking why the outgoing NNPC GCO Miakari did not attend to some of these summons, is looking to do justice to the matter. But when it comes to remittance to the Federation's accounts and finding out that over 210 trillion naira constitutes an audit gap, people continue to wonder, why is it as though there's a lot of secrecy shrouding the NNPCL?
Well, who will be able to answer that question? Even the president will be able to answer that question. But you, as a qualified chartered accountant myself, if they say audit gap, are you getting me? I don't know who the audit firm that conducted that audit, and did they make it public? They've not. Now, I will not go further in commenting on something that I have not seen the audit report. That is one. Two, and you find out that the House of Assembly, the National Assembly, the committee chairman also refused that he will not go in detail. Are you getting me in telling us what constitutes that, what do you call it, the audit gap of 210 trillion? So if he himself, that is alleging, did not make the detail available to us, and he just said the 19 question they answered, they asked, they've answered, he has not made it public. So we, from the outside, are you getting me, cannot be able to comment effectively, are you getting me, on the total story that is surrounding that. But having said that, I would say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, well, he has done well in trying to prevent such, because if you watch, you'll say from 2007 down to now.
No, 2017
2017 to 2023, to 210 trillion. And how did Bola Ahmed Tinubu try to stop that? It's by the new Revenue Act. Are you getting me? That will just pass. That will be operational from
1st of January.
1st of January. And what some of the sessions said, all revenue of the federal government will come into what? One purse. So it's a good one. Before, NNPC run their financial business as if they are a country of their own. They buy and sell without even the president knowing what they are doing. Central Bank of Nigeria does their own, CBN. They don't remit anything. Nobody even audit Central Bank of Nigeria. They tell you that they are autonomous. Are you getting me? So if immediately you are appointed
Central Bank
governor, it seems you are in your own different country. They pay themselves whose salary and everything. Nobody audit them. Are you getting me? Even in this secularization, nobody queries them. So, but now the president, even customs, you understand? Some NIMASA, some revenue generating agency in the world. So that was a very big lacuna. So, and one of the shining stars of this government, which is the Federal Inland Revenue Service head, are you getting me? We're able to convince the president to streamline this thing. So if it comes into operation, we will not have this kind of problem we had in the past in NNPC. So that means the whole money, are you getting me? The whole dealing of NNPC will be coming to the federation account. Are you getting me? So we don't need to, that one has gone. We'll comment on it when the auditors, are you getting me, makes their report open to the public. And or when the committee chairman, the Senate committee chairman that is investigating the matter makes their report open, or there is public hearing, then when we see the things that made up that, they can be able to ask one or two questions and make one or two useful contributions.
And I like your reference to the new tax reform and how it clearly spells out the percentages of sharing between the three tiers of government. Now, for the oil contracts, based on production sharing between the NNPCL, international oil companies, and the federal government, there's still some sketchy details which Nigerians are demanding clarity of in terms of the cost structure of crude oil production. People ask questions of how many barrels per day are produced in the country. Can we track? Do you think that this should be common knowledge to every Nigerian to say that this is the figure on paper?
Well, the truth is that, averagely, there is no country in the world you say they produce 3 million, let me say 3 million barrels per day, and they will meet that target, because at times one or two logistic issue might happen, mechanical issue might happen, they might have shortfall and all that stuff. But averagely, you can peg it to a number. Are you getting me? For Nigeria to demand is not far-fetched. You know why? Because our budget is also hinged on the production.
Targets,
yes. So if Nigerians said we want to know how much we produce per day, the rough estimate, some of them might just calculate, okay, if we produce 1.5 million per day for the 365 days, this is how much is going to be.
And even in our consumption.
In our consumption, are you locally, you understand? But I believe, having said that, the federal government on their own should go a long way, use this opportunity to be transparent. There is nothing wrong in being transparent in how you run things. Are you getting me? Is you are setting a precedent. I was thinking this morning, I said, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have not had fortunate good leaders that love Nigeria. Leadership is you are leading and people are following. And you are leading them to brighter light, brighter glory. Are you getting me? You don't run the state as if, are you getting me, is your own personal business. That is not Tinubu's business or presidency business. Tomorrow you might be there. Let me tell you, this morning I was thinking, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if they tell him by 2018 that he will be president of Nigeria, he will not believe. You know why? The power that be then never liked him. Abakari, that was chief of staff to Buhari, are you getting me? They showed it openly that they never liked him. But by the sheer mercies of God, somehow nature took his course, and today he has seen himself. So I'm using this opportunity to appeal to him and those handling those in the presidency today. They should not play God. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm appealing to him. He should use this opportunity to write his name in gold. He should lead Nigeria out of poverty. He should show empathy. Are you getting me? And those that are the president handler are not doing well. They just forgot Buhari's government. In Buhari government, none of them could talk. Abakari would have fixed them. But what happened to Abakari? Of blessed memory, Insafutu of blessed memory. These were the cabals in the villa then. But if those guys were alive, Abakari were alive, Tinubu wouldn't have even gotten an APC ticket. Quote me anywhere. I'm telling you on solid authority. He wouldn't have gotten an APC ticket. But you see, nature took its course. And somehow, they paved a way for him to be there. So I am saying all this grandstanding of, 2027. They know what is going to happen. Are you getting me? They are facing that and facing that. They should forget. They should leave 1% for God. If they do 99, they should leave 1% for God. Are you getting me? And leaving that 1% for God will make them to govern this country with the fear of God. Are you getting me? Now you are in power. You believe you have the police. You believe you have the army. You believe you have the money. You believe you have the influence. You believe, okay, nobody can take this government out from us. No. It has happened before. So, but if they show empathy, God Almighty that is in heaven will see, okay, these people are leading my people in the right way. You understand that kind of thing? We'll be able to help because anything can happen before 2027. Even in 2027, they don't have a 100% guarantee. Are you getting me? It's them that are in government that are feeling that they are going to win the election. But if you read the indices of what is happening, you find out that there is greater chances that they might not come back. So let them use this opportunity. I'm calling on them to use this opportunity to see on how to fix this country. Number one is 2 years. Tinubu should rejig his cabinet. Some of the agencies that are moribund or they are not doing well, he should remove them. He should forget about politicking. Are you getting me? All these governors that will leave their states, they are supposed to govern, and they are always in the villa. The president on his own, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should ask himself a question. When a governor that is supposed to be in his state governing is always with you, are you getting me? You are flying out, he's waving, he's clapping for you. You are flying down, he's clapping for you. He should tell you at a face value that this governor is not working. He's not performing, because if he's busy in his state trying to fix the state, he will not be there clapping for you when you are traveling out, waving for you as school children. Are you getting me? Your President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. He does not need anybody to escort him. All those things, they are lining, 20 of them lining up when he is coming back. They are all psychophants. I said it, they are all psychophants. Now, are you getting me? So if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to govern this country very well, those people that are not his personal aide should be in their offices working. If a governor wants to come and say, let him be in his state. Are you getting me? Not President Tinubu is flying to New York tomorrow or France tomorrow. You will see a governor, he will be in the airport. All
right.
When he's coming back,
he's taken.
Are you getting me? So please, he should look inward. He should look inward and do a better service.
Let's come to item number 5 on our discourse agenda this morning as we look to conclude. It's the federal government seeking to borrow $2.3 billion external loans, citing deficits in the budget, despite rising foreign earnings inflow into the country. I know a lot of people had questioned and said borrowing is not entirely bad, is what it is used for. There's also a $500 million Sukuk fund that's supposed to be accompanying this new direction of the government to shore up its purse. What do you make of this development?
Well, you see, as generally, people believe there is nothing wrong in borrowing. It's what you do with the borrowing. If you use it for investment purpose, are you getting me? I don't know the condition that is tied to this money he wants to borrow. If there is a sinking fund, are you getting me? That at the end of the day, it will not become a Herculean task in paying back. But if I want to say, too many borrowing. Yes, at the inception of this budget, we've already known that it's going to be a deficit budget. But in my own analysis, I say, must Nigeria continue running a deficit government budget every year, year in, year out? Are you getting me? And our borrowing, look at the borrowing gap to our GDP. It's increasing. Are you getting me? So I don't know the conditions. If maybe probably, as they say, is the borrowing, the interest rate might be so attractive that is so low, and they've designed the modalities of them paying back before they hand over. Are you getting me? When they finish their tenure. So if those things are put in place, there is no cause for alarm. But if they are not put in place, that he will borrow and leave, let me say by 2027 or by 2031, and leave debt to the incoming government, then we need to question it. And what are these borrowing going to be used for? If it is for productive purpose, are you getting me? Then we will not question. But if it's for consuming purpose or to pay salary, then Nigeria needs to question it. But unfortunately, they have already gone ahead. The National Assembly seems to, anything the president brings to the National Assembly, they will give a nod. It seems they are going to give a nod to it. But those, before giving a nod, ask questions. Are you getting me? Ask questions.
Now, whilst it's on the floor of the National Assembly awaiting approval, it's important to note that for the loans, which you had alluded to the fact that since you don't have all the details, let's talk more about the $500 million sovereign Sukuk fund, which would also signal Nigeria's debut in the international Islamic finance market. Those are one of the traits of a lower or non-interest rates in terms of the Islamic financial market. How important is it that the country is looking towards that direction?
It's great. Anywhere you can get fund at a lower interest. This one, there is no interest at all. Why not maximize it? Are you getting me? But as I rightly said, it's the same thing with other loans. It's just that the other loans, their condition might be stringent. But this Sukuk fund, if you drive towards some parts of the road of Nigeria, you'll find out that they'll tell you, you see the signboard there. That means they are using it for the purpose of
funding
road infrastructure. So if it is in line with that, fine, we commend them. But if it's not in line with that, are you getting me? We need to speak against it. So, but my own is that he should ensure that most of this facility that they are getting now, that they try to pay, if not up to 80% before they leave government.
Well, we have talked about availability of funds for the country, as it were. The concluding subject which you look to discuss in less than 5 minutes is availability of capital for the common man. The Central Bank of Nigeria is looking to enforce stricter licensing for POS operators and fintechs. And one of the steps is also in terms of setting a daily limit of 1.2 million naira for POS operators. Now, you'll recall that Nigerians were at a point bemoaning the fact that you go to ATM points and you do not find cash to withdraw, but there's always available cash on the streets in the hands of POS vendors. What do you make of this plan to enforce stricter licensing rules for POS operators and fintechs, and also set a daily limit of 1.2 million naira for the operators?
Well, to me, I would say it's commendable. Are you getting me? It's commendable. Well, because it's not only putting that limit. You discover that a lot of fraud can go through that means. I don't have the data, but if CBN, with the data they have, believe that, okay, to reduce fraud, are you getting me? People accessing people's account, withdrawing through POS, are you getting me? They place a limit to that. It's a welcome development, because as I told you, I used to work in the bank, so I commend CBN But in the other hand, they've for the first time the MPR rate they reduced it marginally. So well, my thesis was on monetary policy. So and I'm advocating they should reduce it more, because if for the past 10 years they've been increasing the MPR rate, the monetary policy rates, on the disguise of curbing inflation, and year in year out inflation is still rising, is it significant?
And now that they're
or
saying
not
that,
significant? So now
that we're saying inflation is decreasing for consecutive
yes.
months.
So what I will appeal to them, because the MPR rate also help the bank to benchmark their lending rate of the bank. So if you want money to go to the private sector, you reduce the interest rate. So if the MPR rate is high, are you getting me? The tendency of the interest rate being high will be up. High is there. Are you getting me? So as they reduce it, you find that bank will slightly also reduce. So CBN should, in the next 6 months, look at keep reducing the MPR rate. By so doing, there will be more money for the common man. Are you getting me? Because once you go to bank, you want to borrow money at low interest rates. You understand? That means that the bank, you can be able to repay that money. The interest rate is not high, so it's going to help you. So it's a welcome development, and Koduso, it seems he has now started understanding his work in Central Bank of Nigeria. So when he does bad, we'll criticize him. On this aspect, I praise him. On the fintech of the POS, is a welcome development. We should encourage him and see how it flows.
Well, Doctor, we must thank you as well, as we've come to the conclusion of our discussion this morning on Morning Express. We appreciate you for always granting us the privilege of having the wealth of your experience in the financial sector as well, as we share this information with our viewers as well.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Chinatu here, who is an economics and political affairs analyst, has lent his thought to this issues on the state of the nation. Be reminded that you can rewatch the discussion live on our YouTube channel at ADBN TV_NG. My name is Beto Bryan, thanking you for choosing to start your day with ADBN TV.